And along with that, when I talk about the spiritual aspect when it comes to technology, we see the rollout of biometrics in the stuff, but it's possible that we're already out of date when it comes to this biometric stuff, which is interesting. It says AI poses threat to biometric authentication. New report warns, but how soon? It says the rise and evolution of convincing deep fake technology poses a severe threat to traditional authentication systems that rely on visual or auditory cues for verification. Warns a new report from the California-based Institute for Security and Technology. The report, The Implications of Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity, says that biometric authentication systems that use facial recognition or voice analysis have already been compromised by deep fake technology in several cases. Sorry for the voice break there. However, the report may not make clear enough distinction between breaches of authentication systems that use liveness or presentation attack detection, which are the most common defensive tools used in authentication systems, and AI spoofing. Okay, so we'll get to that last part in a second. So everything is going to biometrics now. Finger, eye, facial. Of course, they're doing liveness stuff now. If you know anything about liveness, they make you take an actual live video of your face and stuff like that to confirm that it's you. But the problem is AI is becoming so advanced so quickly that the AI deepfakes are now starting to beat out the biometric authentication programs that are just now coming out. And AI is already surpassing that, which is fascinating. Now, there's been some reports that AI is able to beat liveness stuff, but for the most part, that they're not able to do that. Give it time, and they're going to be able to do that. And I believe that there is a solution to this, which we'll get to in just a minute. Let's finish out with what's going on. Oh, that is not it. Let's go back to this. It says the Information Systems Audit and Control Association said in a July white paper that AI spoofing is not limited to creating a false match, but can extend to creating biometric data convincing enough to pass higher levels of security scrutiny. For example, researchers have demonstrated how facial recognition systems can be fooled using deepfake imagery, mimicking facial expressions, aging, and other subtle characteristics of previously reliable identity markers. The rise of AI has certainly significantly advanced the spoofing techniques used against authentication systems, making it easier for attackers to create realistic biometric identifiers, making large-scale attacks more likely and more dangerous. AI spoofing of biometric-enabled authentication systems is possible as advanced AI algorithms can generate highly realistic fake biometric data like fingerprints, facial images, or voice samples, potentially fooling biometric scanners and allowing unauthorized access to systems. However, most modern biometric systems incorporate anti-spoofing mechanisms to detect such attempts, making it increasingly difficult but not impossible to successfully spoof. As I said, these things, AI is moving so fast. And I've talked about this. How is it moving this fast? How is it getting enough information on creating these things that can surpass biometric authentication systems? Is because of things like social media. That's why you look, one of the reasons why that Elon Musk bought Twitter was to have access to as much biometric information from people as possible to feed to his Grok AI system. The Zuckerberg over at Facebook and Meta is doing the same thing over there, and Instagram is doing the same thing. You look at things like Snapchat, you look at things like TikTok, you look at even here on YouTube, on me, AI is scraping up all of that data and feeding it to its system, making its programs better at making things look more real, more emotional, have more of an actual living system. Vocal stuff. I've talked about how AI is scammers are using AI systems now to reproduce voices in order to get people to pay for like ransoms and whatnot. And like a year ago, I did a story about how a scammer used an AI program to mimic a mother's daughter's voice, and the daughter called in to the mother saying she'd been kidnapped and whatnot. The mother called the actual kid and she was perfectly fine, but it sounded just like her daughter that even the mom didn't know. They are gathering all this information in order to make this stuff more advanced. And so, yeah, this technology, these authentication systems are not going to be able to keep up with how fast AI is moving forward at this moment. So how do you bypass this? How do you fix this problem? How do you get past all this? I think it's the mark. I think the only way that problem reaction solution, the Antichrist is going to be using the same exact system that's being used today. His system that is beating biometric authentication, the only way to surpass that, the only way to make sure everybody can be secure and safe, is to offer us something that people take. If you want to have safety and security, if you want to operate within the new marketplace, the beast marketplace that I have for you, if you want to be a part of society in a safe and secure way, you need to take this thing. And this is the only thing that we know that can beat these AI programs. That's the only thing that I think they are, again, doing problem reaction solution. And it's going to be rolling this way where there's going to be an ever-long battle against AI and humans in this way, of human programmers trying to create biometric authenticators that continue to get beat by this AI program. I believe that that's how it's going to work, but I could be wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. You guys roll it around your heads, hinge on it, see what you come up with. Also goes on to say, at present, it is difficult to gauge with any certainty just how many instances there have been in which AI-generated biometric identifiers have actually been successfully used to spoof biometric-enabled authentication systems. The IST report itself says that at this time of writing, AI is not yet unlocking novel capabilities or outcomes, but instead represents a significant leap in speed, scale, and completeness. Oh, it's coming. It will unlock those things. As we know, AI is now coming up with new stuff that humans have not come up with yet. It's already created like new proteins for drugs and stuff. Yeah, it's, again, a supernatural system that I think is going to play a major part in offering stuff to humans in order to stay safe and move forward. The report notes that AI can help organizations respond faster to breaches, improve the accuracy and efficiency of cyber analysis or analysts, and streamline tasks, but that is also used by malicious actors to generate fake emails and websites, or to clone and customize websites to trick users. That's been going on for a long time. I even just warned about it, how I'm starting to have to fight off imitation bots on Rumble. I have people, bots that have taken my profile stuff and they're trying to get people, trying to scam people over on Rumble. I will never, just a reminder, I will never be posting stuff to a phone number, a website, or asking you for anything regarding that. So don't ever think that's me. It's not. Tell me, send me an email, say, hey, look on this video, you got something there, and I will take care of it from there. The report notes that AI can help organizations respond. I just read that. The report points out that because AI relies on large amounts of data, which is often personal and sensitive in nature, again, feeding all of what you're doing on social media is a bad idea. People who continue to post things like, I went on vacation at this place and I just remodeled my house doing this, and look at the food that I'm eating today, and look at the shirt that I just bought today. And it's taking all that information and it's adding it to your social profile. The AI can pull that out and make a representation as close as possible to you because of all that information. Stop doing it. Nobody cares that you had 3 pieces of basil on your margarita pizza. Stop putting it on there. Just putting it out there. Let's go ahead and jump to this. We don't need to read all that stuff. The report says that following the release of OpenAI's Sora, which employs a text-to-video model, a Harris X survey showed 1,000 American... Okay, here we go. A Harris X survey showed 1,000 American respondents, a combination of 8 AI-generated videos and videos created with traditional tools to test the ability to identify AI-generated content. This survey results revealed that most U.S. adults incorrectly guessed whether AI or a person had created 5 out of the 8 videos they were shown. So they went to 1,000 adults, gave them 8 videos, and said which one is AI and which one is human-made. They couldn't get it right. They could not get it right. I warn about this all the time because there's a bunch of bad information out there from AI generated garbage that I continue to see being spread around the prophecy community. We have to be very careful about what we are passing on to each other as far as information, because AI is getting so very good at being undetectable now. There used to be that period of time where you could look at the hands, you could look at the feet, you could look at like the folds where the arm meets the torso and whatnot. You can't do it anymore. It's really difficult. Now, there's still some indicators, like you can tell kind of like AI tends to oversaturate colors and stuff like that. But again, that can be tricky, especially since we still have not been able to figure out how to verify just basic photos, not even AI photos, but just like photos. Like with the recent Iran attack that's just happened, I saw everywhere on social media a picture getting posted around saying, "This is Tehran right now," and it showed a huge explosion from a distance. Come to find out, that had nothing to do with that. That actually came from a fuel depot explosion in 2018, but it just kept getting pushed like it was the Israel attack. It wasn't. And so nobody vetted it. Nobody looked. They just instantly passed it along. And so we've got to be very careful, especially since we're in this age right now where what on earth can we believe, especially when it comes to video, AI, audio, and images, man. It's getting bad. Now we got news outlets that are using AI to write articles. This is not a fun time when it comes to this stuff. I'll tell you what. It's a minefield out there trying to navigate this stuff. It says the IST report says authentication that relies on something you know, like passwords, phrases, PIN numbers, or answers to security questions, is vulnerable to the use of AI. The ease of brute forcing something you know is now even less reliable due to AI's ability to summarize and recall information from large data sets. Again, your social profile, to include scrapes of public social media, public records, and pooled data breach takings. Users should assume that answers to their security questions, typically used for password resets and account recovery, can be known by bad actors using AI capabilities. And now generative AI has been demonstrated to fool some biometric authentication methods, putting the reliability of something you are at risk as well. So what they're talking about is people putting information out on social media that can grant AI access to your accounts and whatnot. If you guys don't believe that that's going on, I'll give you an example of something that's been going on for a very long time, probably since the start of social media, created by humans. And I've warned people about this. Anybody who's had like a Facebook account, or back in the day, you want to go old school, MySpace. You guys remember MySpace? Anybody who's had those accounts before, have you ever seen anybody posting those like survey things where it says, how many times have you done this? And what school did you go to when you were a kid? And, you know, these little survey things that get passed around, people like repost them, but put their own answers in, and that gets passed around. And it's all this stuff about you and whatnot. Did you know that those surveys were actually originated by hacker groups to gain access to your security questions, to log into like your bank account and whatnot? You know, like, what was the name of your first dog? Where did you go to high school? What was your first car? Well, those are usually the same questions that popped up in those surveys. They just sandwiched them with a whole bunch of other questions to make people not question it. That's exactly what it was made for. So you can even go back in time to human hackers using basic stuff like that to gain access to your security questions, to reset your accounts, to get into like your bank account and whatnot. You don't think AI can do that on a much deeper and more simple level? It absolutely can. So there's always a game being played when it comes to what's going on with that. So Yeah, this system here with what's going on with biometric authentication and the battle with AI and stuff like that, I believe that we're going to get to a point where the only answer to fix all the security questions and whatnot is to ultimately end up taking the mark, which will be the secure way of being able to log in. And so I think there's more to that mark than we realize. I'm not going to sit here and speculate to you. I think that there's indeed more to it than what people realize when it comes to that. But then again, I'm just throwing it out there.